What are you doing? Yeah, buddy, fucking... we'll be watching some Pop and Ollie. Pop. Oh, yeah, transgender. Oh, yeah.
Prince Henry. Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, lived a young prince called Henry. He lived in a big castle with his parents, who...
I'm just saying, he looks about 35. He shouldn't be living with his parents. He just has a great hairline that makes him look 28.
were the king and queen. Henry loved being a prince. It was awesome. He got to do a lot of cool, exciting things like riding fire-breathing dragons and rescuing lots of woodland animals. He even got to attend lots of royal parties, but Henry always found it more fun to sneak out of them. Henry didn't know many people, but the people he did know he cared for very much. One of these people was his faithful servant Thomas. Thomas had been the prince's servant a long time, and they had become very good friends. They did everything together. They shared the same interests, and Thomas...
Well, what are the chances?
...was always there to help Prince Henry with his royal duties, or at least help him to get out of them. Thomas did not owe much, nor did he have a lot of money. But Henry cared for Thomas so much that he would often share his wealth with him and surprise him with ridiculously cool gifts.
There's a book.
Now Henry's father and mother believed the time had come for Henry to marry. They were very keen to find someone special for their only son to spend his life with. So the king sent out secret invitations to all the royal princes and princesses in the land, inviting them to the kingdom, so that Henry could choose one of them to marry.
What is my...
A few days later, Henry was awoken by a huge buzz of noise beneath his bedroom window.
What? He's
He
driving on the
sleepily
opposite
climbed
side.
out of bed and opened the curtains. Wow! Prince Henry could hardly believe his eyes. Princes and princesses, hundreds of them. It was quite an impressive sight. Henry couldn't get ready quick enough. He had to know why they were all here. Thomas helped the prince get ready. Henry thanked him and then dashed outside. Hello everyone. Welcome to our kingdom, said Henry to the excited crowd.
I don't want to fucking
I hope you don't mind me asking, but what are you all doing here? The crowd all looked very puzzled, and then came one voice. It was Henry's father. They are here, my son, so that you can choose one of them to marry and spend your life with. I invited them here for you. Henry paused and thought for a moment. He realised that his father was trying to do something nice for him. So he replied, Thank you, father. That was very thoughtful of you.
Are they all
I'm
women?
sure these are all lovely people, but I already know who I want to spend my life with. You do? How wonderful, said the king.
I was trying to get in my
Yes,
associates.
said Henry.
Not
I wish to marry
car.
Thomas. What?
happened?
Said the king.
He
Thomas started to turn red. He had liked Henry for a very long time, but did not realise that the prince felt the same way. The king started to turn red too, but for a very different reason. He was angry. But you can't marry Thomas, he cried. He is your servant. That is against our law and our tradition. A prince could only marry another prince or princess. Thomas is poor and you are rich. You are not equal. Oh, said Henry.
He got his banshee.
Well, in that case, I do not want to be a prince anymore. The king and everyone was shocked. I'm sorry, father. I love you very much, but I must be allowed to marry the person of my choice. If I cannot, then I do not want to be a prince any longer. You may not think we are equal, because I am rich and Thomas is poor, but we are. We all are. Every human being, no matter how rich or poor.
So everyone has the same outfits, same fucking... Same fucking hair, same thoughts. I'm afraid that it's not how it works.
Or different, or similar.
The fuck
we are all worth the exact same. We are all priceless, said Henry confidently. I want to spend my life with someone whom I love, and who I know will make me very happy. That is, if he wants to spend his life with me. At this point, Thomas didn't think his cheeks could get any redder, but
that's not red,
they did.
pink.
The king's anger quickly faded after hearing his son speak, and he started to cry.
With the wrong man.
Henry's speech had made him very proud. My dear boy, please forgive me. No one has ever taught me this before, and I can now see how much you love Thomas. With that, the king ripped the royal law into 100 pieces and threw them into the sky. The crowd of princes and princesses cheered, and everyone was very happy. So,
the Ice Queen and her wife. Please fucking die. A transgender.
Once upon a time, in an old, dusty house, lived Jamie. Jamie was very handy. She was great at fixing things, and could make almost anything from the little that she had. But her older, meaner brothers would often take advantage of this.
Fix my motorbike.
They'd moan.
Mend my car.
It would go on.
Haven't you done it yet?
They'd often be heard screaming. Jamie would be expected to do all this and more. She had to clean the house, prepare the meals, and sew up all the holes in her brother's stinky socks.
That clickbait title.
You should expect a certain level of stability in your educators. I think we're all entitled to that. There are bad teachers out there, but there is a huge difference between bad and seriously dangerous. Many of you may remember I mentioned my mentally unstable, vindictive theater teacher in a previous video, and I may or may not devote an entire video to her later on. But she was nothing compared to who this video is actually about. So for this story, I think we'll call him E, although I guess I could use his real name, considering he's, you know, dead. He might come back to haunt me. We'll stick with E. E was my communications teacher in college. His class was required for my business minors, so there was no getting out of it. So I arrived first day to this class, and immediately, I set one foot in the door, and something about this guy just doesn't sit right with me. Just his general demeanor and mannerisms and the way he talked, it set off so many red flags. Weird fact about me, for years now, I've had deadly accurate intuition when it comes to bad people. For my entire life, I've never been wrong. If a serial killer in disguise walks into the room, I'm shamelessly baring my teeth and hissing like an irate cat. And E was just setting off all of the alarms in my head. He gave us the syllabus the first day, but I might as well have just torn it up right then and there because he never followed it. And listening to him try to explain an assignment